All right, everybody, Corey here. I got my cool smart lights on. They're orange, I don't know if you can see them. I can control them from my phone and it's sweet, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is really, really important, and I think that it needs to be known by everybody, so this is what we're gonna talk about. The formula for tax deed purchases is hidden inside of this video. The reason I want to bring this up is because recently we've had some people buy properties and we're just confused and just wondering how they got their numbers that they got to buy their property. So when you buy a property at a tax deed sale, there's some very key things you need to be aware of and budget in so that you don't overpay for it. So real quick, off the top of my head, rehab, always budget more than you think. Tax title services, because you need to clear the title, so you need to budget that in. Profit percentage, you need to budget that in as well. You need to subtract that from what your maximum bid is so that you actually make money if you were to sell it or fix it up. And then any other miscellaneous expenses that you can think of, let's say water bills, utility bills, anything like that. So let me give you a quick breakdown. It's a quick example, and this doesn't need to be a long video because it's very simple and you should write this down. So we have ARV, so that's the after repair value. That's what the property is worth. Now you might not know exactly what that is, but you can get there by figuring out some comps in the area. So even if you go to Zillow and Redfin and Trulia, Property Shark, and the county website, you just average those numbers together and get that number, you should be okay. If you want to get extra careful, then talk to a realtor and get them to tell you what kind of the comparables of that property would be in the area. So, and comparables being what that property is likely going to sell for. Okay, so the ARV, that's the after repair value. So you have your ARV, and you want to instantly minus like 65% of that because it's a tax sale. So 65% of that. So let's say that you find that a comparable on a house is worth $100,000, and we'll use simple numbers. So the house is worth $100,000. Instantly, before anything, you cannot pay more than $65,000 for that house because you need to leave room. It's leaving 35%. If you were to get it for $65,000 and it needed 0 repairs, then you would make 35%, and then you could probably sell it to a contractor or someone who can flip it, etc., or you can fix it up and flip it. So boom, so we're at 65%, so that's $65,000. Now, what if there's rehab? Then, let's say it needs $20,000 in rehab, and you minus $20,000 from that. So now you have, boom, we're at $45,000. So now that's your maximum bid for this $100,000 house at a tax sale. $45,000 is what now you're willing to spend. But then we got tax title services. Let's say $2,000. So now we're at $43,000. So now that's your max bid, $43,000. And let's just do $5,000 for incidentals. So now we're at $39,000. So now we arrive at this number $39,000, and that's kind of our max bid. That's what we're willing to pay for this house at a tax sale to ensure that we're gonna make money at the end. Now, that house might need a lot more rehab. Like if you can't see inside of it, oh heavens, I would strongly suggest overestimating on your rehab, because we had this property, Ripple Grove, and it had basically, the guy that went in, the mold guy, said it is the worst mold he's ever seen in his life, and it looked beautiful on the outside and through the windows. So that is something to be very, very aware of, and they wanted to charge us $15,000 to fix it. Luckily we didn't pay that. We had a hack to get around it. So that was really good, we did that. But I digress. So this value, what's it called? Formula. ARV, do 65% to be safe. We're always going to be safe on this. And then minus rehab, minus incidentals like tax title services and utilities, and maybe $5K. Now that's what you want to do to be really safe. If you want to risk it a little bit and push it, then you can maybe start at 80% of ARV, and then minus rehab. But then you want to leave some room for someone to want to buy it, because if you buy it and there's no room on the table for someone else, someone's not going to want to come and fix it up because they won't make any money. So you got to keep that in mind. So that's why I say 65% or 70%. Then that leaves 30% on the table for somebody else, which is how you're going to be able to sell it way more quickly than if you didn't do that. So I hope you found that video helpful. It's super important. Please don't overpay for a tax deed property or a tax lien. It's just not worth it. You're going to have a headache trying to sell that thing. And yes, it might take you longer to find a deal, but it's probably better off in the end if you do that. If it takes longer to find one than it is to hold on to it and have to pay taxes and all that stuff. Oh, and taxes is another one. Oh, and title work. So if there's any title defects, you need to subtract from that from the bid as well. So if you see there's like an $8,000 lien on the property, you're gonna most likely be responsible for that if it's not wiped out. So then you want to subtract that from the maximum bid. So in our example, we would be at 39,000, we'd be at 31,000 would be our max bid. So you can see where that big spread, that's a big spread, and you got to get that thing cheap. So it's not worth it even at half price to get that, because it might cost you more and you might not make a lot of money. But that comes in time and you'll figure that out. So hopefully you found that video helpful, and you enjoyed my Savannah Sunset Lights, which is the name of this preset, which is orange and reminds me of Arizona, or Savannah. I don't know where Savannah is. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Subscribe below. We are always putting out new videos now, twice a week, and we are happy to have you subscribe to us, and we are only going to be getting better with our videos just as we kind of move through this and get back into the groove of it. So thanks for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you soon.